Good evening and welcome to the Whiskey Lovers Society with me, Gert Retief, and tonight something completely different. Now, everybody know I am a Macallan fan and I'm not apologizing for it. I stand by my beliefs that Macallan sometimes make a fantastic whiskey. I've got my eye on that 12-year-old color collection, hopefully to pick it up on my way back to my beloved Belgium. And yeah, Macallan, I've always looked at Macallan and I would say, just give me a 3%, make it 46% ABV, just up the little bit of the ABV so that I have a little bit of a choice. Now, all my subscribers know that I am a high ABV fan. I like something 48, 50, even higher. For me, it is perfect just to give me an opportunity to add a drop or two of water and to drink it the way that I like it. Now, I did pour this one quite maybe 20 minutes ago. And there was a reason, and we'll get to that as well. Now, this is an independent bottled whiskey. It is from a company called The Art of Whisky, House of Macallan, so not Macallan. And yeah, I was quite excited when I walked into the shop in Belgium, and they had some samples available. Not sure how available this whiskey is going to be, but I was excited to see if, well, what an independent bottled company can do with a Speyside Macallan distillation and to see if they can make it any better. Now I'm going to have to give you some information. This is only what I could find on the bottle. Now I also went online to their website. No information on the specific bottle, but they do have some newer versions of different companies that they have been bottled. So if you want to have more information, go look online. You'll see some new bottles that are available. Now this one, it's the Art of Whisky. It's called the Macallan. It is an 11-year-old whiskey from the Speyside Macallan, and it is unchill filtered. It is natural color. This one was distilled in 26/02/2009, Speyside Macallan distillation, and 11 years old. And of course, it must have a bit of Macallan in it. And that is what got me excited on this one. Bottled at 46.2% ABV, so definitely picking or ticking that boxes for me. So what I can experience the whiskey maybe the way that I like it. Now it is matured and I'm going to butcher it. It is a cask or cru cask from France. It's called Montelia. I'm not sure. I'm sure Greg will correct me on the pronunciation. So it is a wine cask finished whiskey. So quite looking forward to it. Sometimes it's very difficult to drink a whiskey that is matured in wine cask. Not always possible, or very difficult sometimes for me anyway, to pick up that little bit of that wine note. So not going to be a long video. I am on holiday. I did bring this as a sample. Not always easy to find a decent whiskey when you travel from country to country. So I did bring my trusty little sample of this one. Of course, you will probably have seen some of the photos of the full bottle, so that you can get an idea what it looks like. Lovely bottle, lovely label. I did enjoy all the information. They also give you a little bit of the aromas, what you need to find on it. I don't care about their notes because sometimes I never get the notes that one of these sommeliers picked up. It's a personal thing for me. Everybody has got a different memory in the memory bank on what we can smell and taste. So color-wise, it is natural color, 11 years old, unchill filtered, so definitely ticking the boxes. So on the nose, The nose is, that wine definitely, maybe it's a power of suggestion, but I think this is the first time that I pick up a glass and I do get that wine note. It's just a hint of a sourness, I think, that comes out of it. And when it opens up, and when you first pour this one, that's why I say you need to give it a little bit of time, because the first pour that I did out of even this small sample bottle, now the bottle was still, well, almost full when they poured me the sample. So it is just after the neck pour, so not a lot of oxidization happened yet. There was a little bit of an ashiness to it. Not a very sweet one, but there's just a hint of ash. It's like a cigarette ash type of thing. But now it's opened up, that little bit of a funkiness is gone. Now I'm left with that lovely sweetness, but it's definitely not an overly sweet whiskey. There's some fruity components coming out. There's a little bit of an apples, a little bit of a pear note, a vanilla note coming out, but always a hint of it. So it's definitely not a big fight with the aromas coming out. So there's a sweetness, that winey note definitely there. The alcohol level, 46.2% ABV. It does feel like maybe 43% ABV. So that 11 years did make a nice difference. That is, that ethanol note is barely visible after 11 years. I presume it is European oak, because I get some little oaky tannins coming through, a little bit of a dusty oaky note. But every time that I do go back, it's sweeter for me on the nose. I was a little bit surprised that the sweetness level at the beginning was maybe 5. And if I go back now, we're talking 7, 8 out of 10 already. There's also, well, I'm not sure if you can see, but it's quite a viscous whiskey. Long, thin, slow legs moving down the glass. There's a viscosity to it, sticking to the glass. It's a nice on the nose with a little bit of time. And there's more time, and it's definitely getting sweeter, and I'm also getting a little bit more vanilla coming out. So quite nice, pleasant, friendly, but definitely not a complex whiskey. On the taste, cheers. On the taste, much sweeter. I didn't expect all that sweetness coming out of that. It's sweet, it's spicy, it's oaky, it's viscous, it's oily. It just coats your whole mouth. You get a little bit of an apple note, you get that fruity note. I also get a little bit of a peach note coming out, like dried peaches. Quite a nice one. Let me just try again. Cheers. Now, on the second sip, I do get a little bit more of that oaky tannins. It does tell you European oak. It does have a little bit of a bitter note, maybe a little bit that aftertaste from an espresso. You get that little bitter note. But I think it is necessary to have a little bit of a bitter note just to balance out the sweetness and the viscosity that just covers the mouth. And after that you get a warmth. There's a spicy warm feeling in the mouth and a spicy warm feeling going down. It is 46.2% ABV. It doesn't drink overly hot. I would definitely not add water in general for me, but maybe for this video I might add just a couple of drops of water, just so that you also know what to get. My previous video on the Jack Daniels single barrel select, I add a little bit of water and I was a little bit disappointed. That was 45% ABV. I'll put a link somewhere or at the end card, so if you want to know more about Jack Daniels. But some whiskies do not like if you add water to it, especially a drop or two too much. It can ruin a good experience. So this one, definitely it's drinkable, not a complex whiskey. I'm not sure if they took a Macallan distilled whiskey, and I'm not sure they did it justice. Sorry, but that's just a feeling that I have. I'm not going to jump out and go buy a bottle of this one. This bottle was I think 515 out of 700 bottles. So they only produce 700 bottles. So it might be a little bit difficult to find a bottle like this. But it is nice, to be fair. It is nice on the nose, nice on the taste. But with thousands of bottles of whiskey out there, we need better than just nice, especially looking at all the prices. Now, so for the people that ask, put some water in it, what is your impressions with a little bit of water? It is 46.2. So yeah, I'm not going to add to have some water. I'm going to try to be very careful. Last time I did overwater the whiskey. So I think that's about a teaspoon of water, just to give a little shaky. It feels a little bit nicer actually. It was a little bit of water, a little bit sweeter on the nose. That oakiness seems to be a little bit less. It feels like it actually raised the alcohol. I think it opened up the molecules. So it does feel a little bit sharper on the nose, but definitely sweeter, and maybe a little bit of a furniture polish, almost a little bit of a raisiny sweetness coming through on the taste. Oh, quite interesting. Even that 5, I think the sweetness level went at least 3 times higher. It's sugary sweet, a little molassesy sweet. Let me just try again. A little oily, creamy. Absolutely fantastic. I think while it was a good idea to add water to this one, it really loved the water. I'm not sure if you can see it. There's a little bit of a cloudiness forming. Yeah, there's a hint of a cloud, a little bit of a Scottish mist forming. But actually, I'm quite pleasantly surprised. So if you get this one and you try it, a dash or two of water. Oh, it's quite pleasant. One more try. Final review. Definitely something I would recommend. Had a little bit of an espresso note gone. Sweet, dangerous, absolutely fantastic. Not complex, not wow, but drinkable, and I think something that you would really like. Now, I'm not 100% sure how much this will cost now. They only had the freshly opened bottle, and they didn't have additional stock. So I'm not sure if you're even going to get it. But of course, if you've tried it before, let me know in the comment. Have you seen this whiskey? Have you any other whiskies from this company? Let me know in the comment. Let's talk about whiskey. So thank you very much. And of course, as usual, please remember to like, share, and subscribe. And I see you next time. Cheers.